I want to thank every one of you for attending the Team Singletary Town Hall meeting on yesterday. The information exchange and follow-up questions were wonderful. Team Singletary will have Town Hall meetings every third Thursday of the month for the next 9 months until October of 2023. Moving forward, we will be sharing questions from the Town Hall Roundtable breakouts and public focus groups conducted at the campaign headquarters. I'm excited about this election and our path to victory. Again, thank you for your participation and climb on board our train to a better quality of life.
Oftentimes when I'm in the community, the first thing I hear is, what are you going to do for us? That's the number one question that people ask when I say I'm running for mayor and running against Keith Summey. What are you going to do for us? And so, in answering them, there are 4 major things that I normally will touch on, even though there's a lot of things that we will impact. And all of you have been with me from the beginning, or we've been together from the beginning. My name just happens to be on the ballot, but this is an initiative that is going to improve the quality of life for all of us and some others who may not see the victory right now. Crime, affordable housing, voting, and per capita income. Those things are the most critical in North Charleston. And when I say the most critical, I say that because these things oftentimes determine the quality of life that we have. And so I'm going to go through them, and it's not going to take long, and then we're going to have a question and answer period where I'm going to be able to answer your questions, because that, come on up, sister, that is the bulk of what this town hall meeting is for. Our town halls, which we will have one every single month from now until the election, and they'll be on the 3rd Thursday of the month, but they are geared to educate. It is through education that we've been able to increase the voting participation in North Charleston from 2,000 to 8,000. It has quadrupled in our community. Crime in North Charleston. Not just the quality of life, but life itself is directly affected and connected to safe neighborhoods. North Charleston has the highest crime index in the state of South Carolina. We are the crime capital for the state, and one of the highest per capita in the nation. And we have been like that running for several years. It's sad that we have to deal with this, but there are forces that strategically maintain the crime in our neighborhood because it is profitable. When crime occurs, there's federal funds that can be accessed for crime. Echo Avenue, right here on North Charleston, was slated as the 3rd worst street per capita in the nation. That allowed the city to go get weed and seed funds to come, millions of dollars, in order to address that crime. And so what they did was they sucked the federal funds down and diverted them other places. Why? Because if they fix the problem, they can no longer get the money. And so this is why I say it is directly affected to the quality of life, because they allow that crime to continue and maintain it simply for the funding. We've got 4 different slides here in one. These crime statistics, you can go to North Charleston and get. It's online mapping. And if we take a look at the violent crime index, it has increased every single year consistently in North Charleston. And this is a direct result of them allowing the crime to continue so that they can continually get funds. This is North Charleston's crime index as compared to South Carolina's. More than twice the crime index in terms of North Charleston versus violent crimes in the state, which is much higher than the nation. As you can see here, North Charleston stays on top of the state and the nation when it comes to these violent crimes. And this can change. We know for a fact, based on historical data, that chronic joblessness over an extended period of time is what allows crime to continually persist in a neighborhood. So if we want to affect the crime, we have to do it indirectly by affecting the jobs in the neighborhood. So that is how we affect the crime, through providing jobs. We lower the crime index by providing more jobs. The city can do that by first making sure that it will provide jobs based on parity, on a fair basis throughout the city. That's going to allow every sector of the population to benefit. And that is the only fair thing to do. So we lower the crime index by providing more jobs. In a Singletary administration, we'll make sure that we do it based on fundamental fairness. We're going to be looking at parity. Now, many of the statistics are connected to the present administration. And so once we give the outlook, the overall snapshot, then we'll go back and tell you what this administration is going to do for you. And what we're going to do is we're going to, again, provide more jobs by partnering with companies to say, listen, there are federal funds available for training. There are local incentives that can be given to you, but in turn, what we need you to do is to help us decrease the crime by helping to provide more jobs. And that can be done through better jobs and making sure we increase the pay on the jobs that are there presently. So under the Singletary administration, again, per capita income is going to be one of the primary things that we focus on, to get it up through the jobs that we already have, increasing that. I know many people are saying, well, we need $15 an hour, and that's fine. $15 an hour is still only about $30,000 a year. It's right at the poverty level. And so the national average is $25 an hour. So we at least should be pushing for the national average when it comes to wages. Under our administration, we can use innovative techniques to partner with businesses so that they can not only get up the average income, but to also provide additional jobs within the city. That is and will be the crux of the Singletary administration when it comes to wages and jobs. And you do that through contracts, you do that through hiring with the city and setting the example, so we can then go off and say to businesses, here is the model that we think that you can use, because it's working now. And we have incentives that we can give you. We have federal funding that we can give you for training, and on and on and on. So it is not only doable, but it is something that we could use as a guide to set the standard for other cities. So that's the outlook on crime.
Facebook friends and North Charleston voters, this was a part of the section on crime in our first town hall meeting. We still have the affordable housing, the voting, and the per capita income to deal with. We will be sharing that with you from the first town hall on next week. This week, make sure you do some research to find out more about crime in North Charleston, what we can do in order to bring that crime index down, and we will see you at the next town hall meeting. Thank you.